Awesome. Okay, so welcome everyone. We are happy to have you on today's WinTECH IWD 2025 Summit. My name is Wendy Nwajufo, and I'm the founder of WinTECH Community, and I'm happy to be your host for today. And it's also my honor to have each and every one of us come together to celebrate, to empower and inspire women in tech. This year, our theme is visibility, inclusion, and action. These are three powerful words that define the future we are building in tech. Visibility matters because when women is seen, they inspire, right? Inclusion matters because innovation thrives when diverse voices are heard. And what about action? Action matters because changes does not happen by chance. It happens when we stand up, speak up, and make a change. So today is about more than just a conversation. It's all about empowerment, connections, and the steps we take to create lasting impact. We have an incredible lineup of speakers, engaging discussions, and a community that is here to support and uplift one another. Now, let's make this a summit to remember. And if you are excited and you are here in this room, please, I would like you to drop a love emoji, or you can use your reaction button to show that you are excited for today's section. Let's go, please. All right. All right, let's keep them coming, please. Thank you. I can see all those. I can see that. I can see that. All right. So before we kickstart, we are going to acknowledge the land of Mississauga, and we would like one of our team members who is going to be taking up on the land acknowledgement. And I'm calling on Dami Lola. You can go over now. Thank you. Dami, unmute yourself.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining this.
We can't hear you properly.
Can you hear me?
Yes, this is better.
Can you hear me? Yes.
So sure, we can now.
Thank you for joining this very, let me put it, a laudable event for women in tech. I'll just jump straight right to it. The land acknowledgement. We acknowledge the lands which constitute the present-day city of Mississauga as being part of the treaty and traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat and the Yodot nations. We recognize these peoples and their ancestors as peoples who inhabited these lands since time immemorial. The city of Mississauga is home to many global indigenous people. You can proceed with Wendy.
All right, thank you so much for that, Damilola. And thank you everyone for listening. So before we dive in, I just wanted to mention that please, let's stay muted. If you're not talking, please let your mic be on mute, okay? And as well, we have the chat button. We can always drop whatever message or maybe collaborate and interact on the chat. And as well, if at any point you have a question or maybe it's time for Q&A, beneath your Zoom, you are going to see where it says reaction. When you click on it, it shows you raise hand. With that, we are going to know that you want to ask a question, okay? So just a quick one to more like mention that. And yeah, so we are going to be proceeding. Now I want to like, before we dive in, I want to also take a moment to introduce you to WinTECH. Who are we? And WinTECH is a vibrant and empowering community that is here to support women and young girls in tech. Whether you are aspiring to pivot into the tech industry or you are already navigating your careers, Our goal is to foster growth, build connections, and create opportunities that help women achieve their full potential, not just in tech, but as well in every aspect of your life. Our mission is simple but powerful: to empower women with the tools, resources, and support they need to thrive. We do this by creating an inclusive space where members can learn, network with industry leaders, and unlock new opportunities and personal professional growth too, just like the section we are having today. Believe me, you are absolutely in the right space. So, if you would like to become a part of this amazing community, you want to join us, I would also advise you click on the link. One of the our team members are going to be sharing the link in the chat. Fill up the link, fill up the form. One of the team members will also connect with you. You can also connect with us on our social media platforms. You can follow us on LinkedIn. You can also join us on Instagram. And as well, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel so you stay inspired and engaged, okay? And for this section, we will also share the recording in our YouTube channel when we are done. So it will be nice for you to get connected there. And if at any point you want to like go back to the recording, it's also a good one for you to do. Once again, thank you for being here. We really appreciate you for joining. And now let's dive in and have an incredible section together. Are we ready? Awesome. All right. Are we ready? I want to see emoji. I want to see clapping or whatever. It's like I want to gauge. Are we ready?
Yes,
Because
we
we are
are.
about to. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we are going to be starting right now with the first speaker that we have for today's summit. And I would like you, ladies and gentlemen, because I believe we have some men here. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce our first speaker for tonight, a powerhouse of impact, a voice of change, an amazing woman who always inspires me. When I say she inspires me, I'm not joking. Not just me, every other woman out there, I believe. Esther Ijeware is a media strategist, yeah, an author. She has some books, all right, and social impact advocate dedicated to empowering women and amplifying positive stories. She is the founder of Women of Ruby, a platform celebrating and supporting women making a difference in their communities. As a PR expert, Esther uses storytelling to inspire change and connect people with opportunities. She is also a communalist and host, known for her work in media advocacy, gender equality, and entrepreneurship. Through her initiatives, she continues to champion women's empowerment and drive meaningful conversation on social issues. Please, everyone, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Join me in welcoming this incredible woman, Esther Ijeware. How are you doing today, ma?
I am good.
You're welcome. We're happy to have you. The floor is yours.
Thank you
Please.
so much. Number one, I didn't even know I was going to be speaking first.
Oh, I see.
Just sitting back, enjoying the beautiful energy in the chat room, and just trying to learn more about the work that you're doing at WinTECH. So I want to first say thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
inviting me and for the good work you're doing, right? Thank you for the good work you're doing, amplifying voices and creating platforms like this for us to come and share and also learn, because learning is a continuum. So I'm not just here today to share, I'm also here to learn from other speakers and of course from our amazing participants. So before I dive into my session, I want to say Happy Women's Month.
Happy Women's Month.
Happy Women's Month. I hope that you accelerated, you took action, and that today, whatever I'm going to be sharing, you will take more action to make yourself visible. Because like I always tell people, visibility is not vanity. It is a necessity for impact. And that's the reason why we're here today. So can I share my screen?
Of course, yeah, you can go ahead.
All righty. Okay. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can, but it would be nice if you can
All
make
right.
the presentation more.
Okay, so today I'm going to be sharing on enhancing your personal and professional branding, which is something that I preach every day. It's something that I love to talk about. You know, I love when women are well positioned in the media. I love when someone comes to us at Women of Rubies and say, Esther, I want to consult with you. And then I go on Google and I can find at least some information about them, right? I love to see that because I feel like as women, we are too humble with our accomplishments. You see, men are not humble with their accomplishments. A man would achieve something and is archiving it in the media all the time. But for us, we're always concerned about, am I doing too much? Is somebody saying too much? But men don't have that. So today, what I'm going to be sharing with you is how you can, just let those worry and the head tape in your head and make you feel you're doing too much, take the back seat so that we can actually start accelerating action. All right, my name is Esther Ijewere. Once again, like Ms. Wendy said, and this is who I am. Very passionate about media strategy, very passionate about women's empowerment. And my journey in media has been about using storytelling as a tool for impact, influence, and empowerment. I am a columnist for the Guardian newspaper for almost 10 years now. I have spotlighted proudly over 2,000 women globally via Women of Rubies, via my Guardian newspaper that is published every weekend since 2016 in Nigeria. And, beyond that, there's also the Women of Rubies platform where we amplify women's voices, share extraordinary stories, and of course, help women position themselves in the media. All right. Who are we? Women of Rubies. Today, I'm here as not just myself, but a representative of the platform that has given me a voice for over 15 years. And of course, women who have been supportive of my career from the get-go. So we are into media strategy and consulting, public relations services, advocacy programs, workshops, and training campaign management. So you want to learn more about us, I'll be sharing more information about that. Yes. Now, this is the most interesting part. For every time I have a session, a speaking engagement, anyone who is following me on Facebook or my social media, I love affirmations. I live for affirmations because I love when people start with positivity. So today, I know a lot of us don't have our camera on, but if you can kindly unmute yourself, this is an affirmation for visibility. You can take a screenshot. You can take a screenshot. It's like you are affirming to yourself, that you want to be intentional with your visibility. So if we can kindly unmute ourselves for just a few seconds, let us recite this beautiful visibility affirmation together. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yes,
We are.
Yes,
Let's
ready.
go. I am visible to the
Visible
right
to the right
media platform,
opportunity
connect with
influential voices,
my
inspires.
voices and my story inspires the world.
How did you feel reading that?
Great.
Exactly.
Feels good.
Exactly. So take the screenshots and let it be something you recite to yourself. Every time you want to feel like, am I posting too much? Every time you achieve something and you're so shy, you're scared of posting it, remind yourself that your story is important. Remind yourself that you are important, that there are destinies attached to that thing you are hiding. You're trying to marinate it for the right time. So this affirmation is just to let you know that, whatever you have achieved up until this point is very important in the world. Now, why branding and media visibility matter? A lot of people often tell me that they don't even care about their visibility. I just want to be doing something I am passionate. Yes, passion is good. But if your passion is not something we can see when we Google your name when we Google your name, then you might want to go back to the drawing board, because passion alone is not enough. So how do you build your personal brand? What is a personal brand? Your personal brand is your reputation, the credibility, and what you stand for. That's what your personal brand is. What's your professional brand? Because a lot of people don't know how to separate this. Your professional brand is how you position yourself in your industry. So when I started, or when Mrs. Wendy was reading my profile, she did say that I'm a media strategist. Now, that is the way I have positioned myself for over 10 years as a media strategist. If I am pitching myself, it's the first thing that comes out, and then, or I'm the founder of Women of Rubies. But I love the media strategist because it kind of like opens the door for a bigger conversation. And of course, why does media visibility matter? It expands your influence. It attracts opportunity and builds trust. I am one person who has gained a lot from media visibility. I am who I am today because I have been intentional about my media visibility, and I've been intentional about the visibility of all the people around me. Impact. The media also increases career and business growth. It builds credibility and audience engagement. How do you build a strong personal and professional brand? The first thing is to do is to identify your brand identity. Who are you? What defines your values? What's your mission? What's your expertise? You need to be clear. I always tell people that if you want people to really take you seriously on social media, or even in the media at all, you need to be clear on your niche. Who are you? What do you stand for? Yes, you might be multitasking. You might have multi-talent and skill set, but make sure that you are known for something. The media also helps you create, compelling narrative. For you to build that personal and professional brand, you need to be able to create a compelling narrative. Your story should be relatable and inspiring. You should use storytelling to build emotional connections. Lastly, you got to develop a consistent brand image. Professional photos, professional photos, your bio, your online presence, your brand colors, your font, and messaging consistency. Listen, if you want people to take you serious, the world has gone beyond, I'm just dumping things on social media. Now, some of us want to go on people's pages and we want to see how serious they have with their branding, right? We want to see how serious they have with positioning themselves. And these little things that people oftentimes overlook might not, help your brand. You might be wondering, why am I posting? Nobody's paying attention because they cannot identify what your brand is. They cannot identify who you are. So you need to make sure that you put all of these things together to give yourself a good professional and personal brand out there. How do you leverage media for growth, you might ask? Traditional media, TV, radio, and newspapers, getting featured through interviews, press releases, position yourself as an expert in your field. Digital media, of course, social media, podcasts, blogs. You got to be able to create engaging content. We've gone past the stage of, I don't know how to create content. Listen, the world has blessed us with AI, ChatGPT, Notion, CapCut. Everything is there at our disposal, right? We don't want to be lazy anymore. We want to make sure that we're learning these things by ourselves. And you know the good thing? You can learn things on YouTube now, right? Just dedicate time to learning. So instead of telling yourself consistently, I can't do it, how about you change that to, I am going to give myself the task to learn one thing every day till I am able to position myself in the media. Collaboration with influencers and thought leaders. That's what we're doing today. I'm here today because it's a beautiful collaboration. Myself and Mrs. Wendy, we've collaborated on different initiatives. She's been part of our Women of Ruby's Media Visibility Bootcamp, and I'm more than proud to be here today as well to share from my own expertise. That is the power of collaboration. And collaboration right now is a new oil in the media, right? It's the reason why Instagram created a collaboration tool. Even right now on Facebook, you can collaborate. And I am hoping that LinkedIn would catch up with it at some point. Speaking engagement and events, this is another way for you to be seen and heard. You know, attend and speak at industry events like this to gain credibility. Network with media professionals, not just people in your industry. I often tell people when I go out and network with people, I want to meet one person who is not in my industry. I want to meet someone who is even a fashion designer. I want to know more about their work. I want to show that interest genuinely because I love to learn. And the only way you can learn from people is by networking. So what are some strategies that would help you increase your media visibility? Optimize your online presence. You need to have a strong, and I use the word strong here, LinkedIn, Instagram, and personal websites. You can add Facebook to that to consistently share valuable content. Listen, LinkedIn, if you want to be seen as an authority in your industry, I would advise you, if you don't have a LinkedIn page now, to get a LinkedIn page. If you have one already, you want to check it if it's well optimized, right? To make sure that the keyword of your work, your accomplishments, and the services you offer are things that people are searching for on LinkedIn. You need to understand as well how to leverage PR strategies, right? Writing guest articles. So a lot of us know how to write. We can write those beautiful posts on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. How about we try and explore other platforms? So instead of just the audience that are used to you, your friends and your network, why don't you say, oh, Esther, hi, I would love to write for Women of Rubies. For example, I have this story. I am in this industry. I want to write about the women in my industry. Even if it's just once a month, even if it's just once in 3 months, it's always good to have that. Now, this is for those who have the passion to write. So I'm not speaking to everybody, but if you have the passion to write, if you write good content and you get good engagement, one way to make your name indexed on Google very quickly is to write for other platforms, right? And contribute, to other platforms as well. Pitch stories to the journalists, and media outlets. Don't wait for us to come to you. I have been writing stories now for over 10 years. And trust me, when I started out, I used to reach out to a lot of people. Oh, hi, I want to spotlight you. But you see, the tables are flipped now. It's not like we don't reach out to people anymore. But I love when people are bold enough to say, hi, my name is Esther. This is what I have done. I would love for you to, look through this Google Drive to check my work, and I would love to be spotlighted on your platform. I would love to explore your PR services. You need to take that bold step. Stop marinating your accomplishments and your achievement, because even while the media, we love to spotlight people spontaneously sometimes, it's always good for you to take that bold step. Engage with your audience. Some of us will just post, you dump the post there on social media, and you're wondering, why are my followers not increasing? Because you're not making your followers your stakeholders. They are not your stakeholders in your initiative. They just watch your post, you're not commenting, you're not reacting, you're not making them feel like, there is some human behind the account. So these little things, like I said, they matter a lot because people watch, people see, and they want to feel like they're part of, your world, your brand, or whatever it is that you're putting out there. Host live sessions and interactive Q&A. Now, again, it might not be your thing to do this, but you even collaborating or being part of conversations like this would help you, where you're learning, where you're growing and empowering yourself with the right resources. All right, so my case study today is Oprah. Before I go on, I just want folks to tell me, what is one thing you know about Oprah? If you can tell me in the comments, just one line, what is that thing? What is that one thing you know about Oprah? Like, oh, this is one thing I know about Oprah. Every time you hear Oprah Winfrey, what comes to mind? What comes to mind when you hear Oprah? What comes to mind when you see a media powerhouse, great talk show host? She's a media mogul, Great speaker and influential. Yes, wealthy. Yes, Adama. That's survivor. Yes, thank you, everyone. I love that. Yes, you can see media experts. Exactly. Now, when people mention your name, what comes to mind? That is why we're here today. That's the power of visibility. That when you walk into rooms, when they are introducing you to people, when people want to talk about you in rooms filled with opportunities, the keyword of your name will resonate. Oh, hi, we need to call that media strategist. Oh, hi, we need to call that family therapist. Oh, we need Oprah because Oprah is that girl. She's been able to build a brand, right? She's been able to position herself not just as an authority, but as a relevant person in the world. And in Oprah's voice, she's always saying, have a gift that cannot be ignored. And that is what Oprah is all about. She has a gift that the world cannot ignore. Oprah built a brand by combining authenticity, storytelling, and media influence. She started as a news anchor, but gained visibility by creating the Oprah Winfrey Show, where she connected deeply with her audience. I am a proud Oprah watcher. I mean, for those 25 years she was on TV, I know I might have watched, going by my age, at least 5 years, right? From the moment she gave, I remember there was a show, she gave out cars to people. And there is no way you watch that show and you're not feeling compelled. There is something that will tweak in you. That thing, that effect she has on us who watch that show, back in the day, is the reason why we tune in every other day. That is the power of being positioned in the media. That is the power of having visibility. What are some of the key lessons that I learned from Oprah? Leveraging media exposure to build a powerful personal brand. So she didn't just sit back and say, oh, the media, they're going to come to me. I'm Oprah. I'm on TV. If there's anyone, let me tell you something today. This woman knows how to go after what she wants in the media. She wants you to spotlight her. She would have her team message you. She wants to be on your platform. She would have her team message you. Right. During the Color Purple, I don't know if you saw the media rounds during Color Purple. It's one of the most beautiful media rounds. Why? It wasn't just about Oprah. It was because she was willing to be on other people's shows, from Kelly Clarkson, I think, to Cheryl, who now handles the Wendy show. She was everywhere, right? Because she was able, to build those connections over the years, and now she's leveraging it for other areas of her life. So, and that's why I'm encouraging everyone today. You need to be able to leverage media exposure. Build yourself as an authority in your field. If you're an innovator, a leader, a business owner, an entrepreneur, make sure that your name is the solution to the problems you solve on Google. You might want to write that down as a reminder that one of the things you want to accomplish this year is to make sure that your name is a solution to the problems you solve on Google. Someone might, please kindly help me put that in the comments. Oprah stayed consistent with her messaging, empowerment, education, and storytelling. Now, the thing with consistency is this: people are watching you. So you might have all this beautiful talent. I started out as a women's advocate. However, I had passion for media and I pursued that, right? And I created an intersection called media advocacy, meaning I'm still going to advocate for women. In the same vein, I am positioning them in the media. So I just don't want to tell the stories. I want to make sure that the keyword of the name becomes optimized on Google. So I took it from beyond just speaking about these issues, social issues, to actually archiving their name in the media. That's the power of consistency. And I have been consistent with that for many years. So you need to be able to stay consistent. Even when no one is clapping for you, be consistent. All right. Oprah expanded beyond TV into books, podcasts, and philanthropy, making her a global icon. All right. So okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so like I was saying, you need to be able to position yourself, not just as Oprah, but as yourself. I only use Oprah as a case study, because she is that girl. Oprah is that person. She is, look at everything we wrote in the comments. That is who she is, the Oprah effect. How does this relate to my own journey? You know, because every time I use someone as a case study, I love to circle it back to say, what did I learn from Oprah? You know, I started as a media strategist and advocate for women's empowerment. Through Women of Rubies and my column in the Guardian newspaper, I created a platform that amplifies the voices of inspiring women. I am the host of the Get Talking with Esther show, and it has helped me connect with so many people across the world to build credibility in the media space. I have used traditional and digital media to expand reach, just as Oprah did with TV and online platforms. If Oprah, listen, and when people give me excuses, I always tell them, there was no social media during our days. When Oprah was that person, there was no social media. We had maybe 2007 when Facebook came. Yeah, but there was no core social media. So we have an advantage over our generation. And the advantage we have is that we can post things in real time. We can do things in real time. People don't need to watch us on TV before they learn about us. They can learn about us just with the tip of their finger on Google. What is your name? What do people see when they pop up your name? So I just added my Wikipedia page. This is just a screenshot of my Wikipedia page. For those who want to know more about the work that I've done, please position yourself in the media, learn from women like Oprah, position yourself in a way that you're not just visible, but you are visible to the right audience. So my call to action for everyone on the call today is to define your brand and craft a compelling narrative. What is your why? People need to know. Why are you doing this? Are you doing this because WinTECH is doing it? No. Are you doing this because, oh, Women of Rubies has done this? No. Are you doing this because some of these amazing speakers that we have today, they've done something? No. You need to be able to define your why. It is okay to admire people. It is very good to admire people, but make sure that you have your own voice and identity. The second thing that I'm challenging you to do is to leverage media opportunities and digital platforms. If you don't have a Facebook page yet, if you don't have an Instagram page or LinkedIn page, at the end of the session, I encourage you, to start with at least one platform and identify a platform where you have your strengths and capitalize on that, on building a community around yourself. Stay consistent. I have said consistency more than 5 times today. Why? Because I am here today because of consistency. Consistency gives you power. It gives you authority because people know the messaging. It is that messaging that you are evolving, you are tweaking, you are moving with trend, but it's still taking you back to your core. What are the next steps that I would love for you to take? Start with small media features and build up. So you don't have to just start with putting yourself everywhere in the media. Start with, even if it's just blogs, you have a friend that owns a blog, you have a friend that owns a platform, share your story with them. Please, can you share my story? And one thing that a lot of women don't know, the world is now evolving into a stage where when you're nominated for awards these days, they want you to provide some media links to back up your bio. They need to read from third-party platforms about you. And you know why they're doing that? Because they want us to start investing in ourselves. They don't just want you to take that award. So even people now, before they give awards and recognition, they want to know who they're giving the award to. Are you going to amplify the traffic for them? Are you going to amplify their platform? It's a win-win for everybody. They're not selfish, but we need to now take our own media investment seriously. Lastly, stay authentic. Please be authentic. Even if it makes you look stupid, be yourself. Be yourself. I always tell people that one of the things that I've learned about social media is this. When you're fake, people can see it. If you are being strategic with your kindness, people can see it. If you are authentic, you would attract certain kind of people. And those people, let me tell you one thing, they are going to be solid. They will be by you. They will stand by you. And in addition to that, have a community that can see through your authenticity. So if you want to connect with us on Women of Rubies, you can follow us on Facebook. You can take the screenshot of this as well. On Twitter, LinkedIn, email us. If you want to have a consultation with us, you can email us at info@womenofrubies.com. And before I close today, I want to leave you with this. I said it at the beginning of my presentation. Please take a screenshot again. Visibility is not vanity. It's a necessity for impact. As you navigate this year, I encourage you to take this along with you. Visibility is not vanity. It is a necessity for impact. Please let this be your mantra. Every time you want to feel like, oh, I'm posting too much. Listen, you see the way social media is working now. They even remind you to comment. I don't know if you're on Facebook. Mark and his bots, they remind you to comment on certain posts. Oh, you have some comments on your posts. You know why they're doing that? They are trying to build their platform. So even if you can't comment, what they're telling you is stay consistent. If you don't put yourself out there, nobody would find you. Believe me, even as a media strategist for me, I tell people there are people that I don't work with. No, I'm not a bad person. But if I see you have, say, 1 million followers, and you have built this brand, and then you're coming and then you're saying, oh, I don't know how to write my bio. In my head, I'm like, what did you invest in? Did you invest in followers and you forgot about your brand? Did you invest in just building comment section and likes? And then you forgot that there are some of us who I don't take people's social media, for example. I go on Google. I think I've told Wendy several times. The moment I meet you, I am going on Google, straight up. It's a media thing. And because we also have what we use in PR called a social listening tool. So if you want to fake it for me, it's a tool we have in those who are PR strategists, they know. I can dig out things, not negative things, just to see who you are. Oh, those old tweets, those things you posted on Facebook. So these are some things that, we need to work on. Lastly, please stay away from drama. The best way to build a clean brand is to stay away from drama. And you need to be able to master emotional regulation on social media. Some of us who are out there, we have large following. Believe me, we always have those trolls in our comments. And sometimes people say, how do you do it? I'm like, I just take a deep breath. Sometimes I just log out. You know why? Because people who don't have anything to lose, they can make you lose everything in 5 minutes. Everything you've built for years, just because of that negative comment. If you don't know how to regulate your emotions on social media, please don't start. And with that, I want to say thank you very much for listening to me. If you have questions, I'll be glad to take it. I hope that I have been able to help you accelerate action in the media and visibility.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's bring in that emoji, okay? Thank you so much, Esther. That was really, really amazing. Visibility is not vanity. We have to stay, visible in whatever we do. Like when you say stay away from drama and also position yourself on how to tackle maybe negative responses or maybe comments. I see that a lot. Sometimes when I see negative comments, instead of me wasting my time, I rather delete. That is what I normally do. Both of my channel, what I normally do, I'll just press delete. But I see some people, they will come in and they will just be saying few things and making noise and all that, which is not necessary. One thing I want to say is this. I don't think if there is anyone in this room that is not on LinkedIn. If you are not, I know a lot of people are on LinkedIn, but one thing is that most people are not visible. Most people, not really visible, but most people are not consistent when it comes to putting in content and all that. And you are hearing it today. If you are listening today and you're in this room, this is an opportunity, it's a wake-up call for you, all right? It doesn't matter that you have to start and be posting on a daily basis. As time goes on, you can. I have a team member here. We call her consistent content woman. She always, every Monday, she always puts up her content. Like, these are things that we have to do, no matter how little they are. Yeah. Esther, we really appreciate you. We thank you so much for sharing from your wealth of knowledge. These are things that we need on a daily basis as women. When we're hearing this a lot, like in our WhatsApp group, I came up with that question again. Why are we not sharing? Why are we not posting? These are things that we need to do. So if you are listening today, if you didn't go home with anything based on what Esther said, there is something you would definitely go home. Remember that visibility is not vanity. So I want to see in the chat, let's know what is one thing that you are taking away from everything you heard Esther say now. Let's drop it in the chat. However, for questions, I would rather wait. For the question, we will wait for the final speaker to finish. Then anybody that have any question we can now go into section for questions. Yeah, I see someone is saying visibility. Yeah, visibility provides impact. And what? Impact for visibility is a necessity for impact. Okay, nice one. Maureen said, okay, that is from Maureen. Visibility is a necessity for impact. Then I see another one. Christina said, visibility provides impact. Such great insight. Awesome, nice one. I see Bola is saying, build my personal brand. You need to, right? We have to. I can see a lot of comments coming in, which is awesome. So please try and have a takeaway for today's talk. All right. Now we are going to be entering into the next phase that we have, which is calling on the next speakers that we have for today. All right. And believe me, you're going to enjoy this section. Remember that we have pack of information and again, some things that we are going to be sharing towards the end. So I will encourage everyone to make sure you stay till the end of this section. And as well, we will try to keep to time. We don't want to waste everybody's time. We want to be fast as much as we can. All right. So for today, we have the privilege of partnering with City of Mississauga and also hearing from two dedicated professionals who are actively shaping inclusive and equitable workplace at the City of Mississauga. First, I want to introduce the first person, which is Christina Liley, a talent, diversity, and inclusion specialist with the City of Mississauga. Her role includes supporting the efforts of the Mississauga to diversify their workforce and by supporting the recruitment process to be equitable and inclusive. Christina's current and ongoing exposure to DEI, as well as her passion for this cause, provides a natural yearning to push boundaries and challenge barriers within the space. So joining me, Christina is Shebe Butali, a recruitment specialist with the City of Mississauga as well. He currently supports the recruitment of IT professionals and firefighters. He has over 15 years of experience in human resources, but most notably about 7 years with the City of Mississauga. He tries to ensure fairness and equity in his approach to recruitment and enjoys meeting new people and learning about their career aspirations. He looks forward to connecting with all of us here today. So, together, Christina and Sheba bring a wealth of knowledge and experience in diversity, equity, inclusion, and recruitment. Please, everyone in this call today, let's do a drum roll. Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Let's join me and let's welcome Christina and Sheba. Over to you. The floor is yours now.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Hi, everyone of WinTECH. I don't know if we can follow Esther's amazing presentation, but we will do our best not to make anyone fall asleep. I know it's kind of late here in Mississauga, but I do appreciate you having us on your platform.
We are honored.
We newly went into a partnership with Black Tech Academy, which also brings us in partnership with WinTECH. And we are thrilled and excited to start utilizing this talent pipeline and this talent pool of top talent and amazing smart individuals and bringing that over to the City of Mississauga. So we have a very brief presentation that overviews our recruitment process, really just to bring insight to candidates. So a lot of the times, when you're applying for a job, it kind of feels almost like a black hole. So with the City of Mississauga, we're trying to take that away and be as transparent as possible, because we know that supports equity. And being equitable in our recruitment process is a leading factor for us. So I'll just go ahead and share my screen in my presentation. Oh, sorry, Shabir.
No, it's okay. I'm just say good evening, everyone. That's
Yeah,
all.
sorry,
Good
Shabir.
No problem.
Sorry, Shabir, did you
No,
want to add
Christina, you're
something?
on a roll. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Good evening.
Okay, let's see. Do I
Are
have
you
sharing
able?
access, Wendy?
Yes,
Sorry.
you can. You can share.
Okay.
Try.
Let
Let
me.
me see. Can you?
I think
I believe you can.
If you can, Shabir.
I think I can. Yeah. Let me do that.
Awesome.
I'm gonna start.
Thank you.
Perfect. We can see it now.
Okay, so just like I said, yeah, perfect. This will be a brief overview of just our recruitment process, what it looks like, to give more insight. Something a lot of people don't know with the city of Mississauga, at least, is that we rely on competency-based recruitment, which is like a competency, and I'll go into a bit more detail about that, but it demonstrates like behaviors that's needed for that role. And so lots of people don't know that they're being assessed on these behaviors, and they're all in our qualifications and job postings. So for today's agenda, I do want to highlight our commitment to EDI, what our hiring process looks like, and competency-based recruitment. And then Shabir will kind of go into what recruitment for IT looks like. And if there's any questions, happy to take them up. So we did get an amazing land acknowledgement today, so I don't think that's necessary, Shabir, so we'll just pass through. Thank you. So just to go over the city of Mississauga's commitment to EDI, especially in a time right now with our neighbors to the south, there is a lot of repeal and a lot of backlash happening with EDI. And one of the things that I find so inspiring with the city of Mississauga is that we're actually kind of going more further into this journey. We are being more forward facing, front facing. We are trying to expose everyone to EDI throughout the full life cycle of an employee. So it doesn't just come in at recruitment stage, and it doesn't just come in when you're hired, and it doesn't come in when you're leaving. But for your whole time with the city of Mississauga, we are trying to embed an inclusive EDI lens within your time frame. So when we are working with the city, it means being a part of an amazing team of talented, motivated individuals. There is a passion for, coaching up and supporting employees with the city. We value work-life balance. We recognize the importance of it, and that an inclusive work environment leads to, of course, happier employees, which leads to better services for our community, which is our ultimate goal, serving our communities. And so the city is committed to fostering an inclusive and respectful culture while eliminating systemic barriers and prioritizing your well-being. When it comes to systemic barriers, that's kind of where my role lends itself. So I review our recruitment processes for all different departments. So that's IT, that's HR, that's fire, like corporate services, everywhere, enforcement. And then what I'm doing is identifying any barriers that may be there for candidates. We have a focus on equity deserving groups. And what that falls under is 2SLGBTQ+, women, newcomers, Black, Indigenous, and persons with disabilities. So a part of our sourcing strategy is being able to reach those marginalized individuals and those communities that kind of underrepresent our workforce. And we're trying to build that up. Now, once again, throughout our employee lifecycle, EDI is embedded in all parts. We brought in something called our employee resource groups, so ERGs. We have ERGs for women, persons with disability, Indigenous, Black, and many more into LGBTQ+, where it gives employees a safe space to kind of vent or to communicate or to just find themselves. So we're very excited and passionate about that. We have things called our equity alerts, where they're learning tools. So, they're almost like blog style posts, and their theme related to EDI, what it is, how you can further your journey. We have a lot of learning tools. All of our managers, our hiring managers, they have to be certified in our EDI hiring manager certification. So that means you cannot even facilitate an interview, sit on a panel, if you are not haven't taken this course. So we want to ensure that not only is the recruitment equitable in terms of our sourcing, but the assessment. Are we aware of any unconscious bias, and how does that reflect our assessments? So we always bring light to that education. And then once again, we support a positive work-life balance. We have professional growth opportunities such as our leadership pathway program, where you can nominate yourself to go into a position of leadership, which is a big one for us for succession planning. Thanks, Shabir. Within the city, and you'll see it on our footers, of course, accessibility and AODA compliance is a big thing. We have to do it. It's by law, but beyond just being by law, it's something we are passionate about in ensuring all candidates and employees have their most authentic self and feel comfortable and feel like they have a sense of belonging. And we know that's through accessibility, and we know that's through accommodations. So if you are applying for a job and let's say you needed a listening device or a reading device to apply even, or if you're doing an interview, that is something that we would accommodate you for. And we train our recruiters on accommodations and our hiring managers. And there's a big push of what we call a universal approach, where rather than waiting for people to need the accommodation, we just build in these things. So, sometimes we give interview questions ahead of time, or we just additionally add on additional time for interviews. So that's the kind of approach that we're trying to go from. And then, of course, we have our Ask HR, which is like a generalized or centralized unit for all HR inquiries. Thanks, Shabir.
It's not moving to the next slide.
Oh, it's stuck?
Yeah.
So when I talk about EDI, and like I said, our equity deserving groups, one of them being newcomers. The city of Mississauga is one of the most, if not still the most diverse cities in Canada. And so we recognize, and not only recognize, but we value newcomers and all the experience that they bring. And a big part of what we're doing in talent acquisition is helping and committing the recognition of newcomers' experience and removing that barrier. And one of the biggest barriers that people face is, I don't have Canadian experience. And so within the city of Mississauga, we are moving away from that needing Canadian experience, where we're supporting our hiring managers in being able to recognize transferable skills. So yeah, okay, they don't have anything here in this municipality, but how have their skills wherever they're coming from be used and can support this role, knowing that you do not only need Canadian experience. We encourage all foreign trained applicants to have their academic credentials evaluated. We've recently partnered with World Education Services, so WES. And so if that's something that they're interested in, if they see a posting, you can go ahead and have your credentials evaluated ahead of time. It also supports if you're going to like a regulated field. But for most of the times, we recognize like foreign education. And so reports aren't really needed. And if they were, they would be, of course, transparent and posted on our job postings. Thanks, Shabir. So just to briefly go over our hiring process, all of our jobs. So, even if you see something on our career site and, you met me today and you want to share your resume, that's great. Happy to take your resume. But all of our postings are on our external career site, and you would have to apply to the job posting that you see to even be considered for the role. So that's just really important. And once again, to apply and view open roles, you can go to jobs.mississauga.ca. And I'm just going to briefly go over creating profile. Like, you guys are, women in tech, so I don't think I need to teach you how to click and create a profile. Like, you're beyond that. But we have something where you can create a candidate profile. And the really cool thing about it, because everyone will have to create a profile when you apply. But the thing that I love about the candidate profile is that you can set job alerts. So if you're only interested in IT positions, rather than wasting your time combing through our website every day, you can just set those kind of keywords like IT, data analyst, whatever it is that you're looking for, and we will email you the job postings that are specific to those kind of keywords. And then a great thing about the candidate profile is it lets you know the status of the job. So sometimes recruitments take a little bit of time, longer than we anticipate, and sometimes the process itself is just long in itself. Like, Shabir, how many weeks is a standard recruitment with no issues?
Yeah, probably about 12 weeks.
12 weeks. So that's like 3 months, right? And so during that time, a lot of people aren't aware, and they like, did I get ghosted? Did I get left on red? Like, what's going on with the employer? And so you can go to your candidate profile to see the status of the job. So if it's still ongoing, if it's closed, but of course, if it's closed, you would receive notification if you weren't a successful candidate or if we want to interview you. Thanks, Shubir. And if you can also monitor your emails, because sometimes our emails do go to others, like your junk box or your spam folder. But yeah, that's pretty much it for how to apply. So this is kind of the meat and potatoes and what I wanted to address, which is the competency-based recruitment. So just kind of like what I talked about earlier in the beginning, to properly source and evaluate candidates equitably, hiring managers and recruiters use this competency-based approach. And a competency refers to the behaviors an employee is expected to display in a job. And with competency-based recruitment, it involves hiring candidates that can clearly demonstrate their qualifications and, of course, the ability to perform the duties and responsibilities that's needed in the role. Thanks, Shubir. So within the city of Mississauga, we have 5 core competencies, and I don't know if this is updated with the last one, but I can talk about it. So what that means is regardless of the role, regardless of the salary, the job grade, whatever it is, if it's entry level or if it's like director, there are 5 core competencies that you will have to be assessed on. And I'm just going to talk about them briefly with giving the definition and then, of course, like a sample interview question. So one of the first core competencies is acting with integrity. And what that means is you clearly state your goals and beliefs, and you let people know their true intentions. You do what you say you're going to do and follow through on commitments. And so a sample interview question would be, describe a time when you made a commitment that you were unable to keep. What did you do and what happened? And so it's not so much what we're trying to assess here is like, oh, you didn't get to keep maintain your commitment or, you can't do your work. It's, you acknowledge that you aren't able to maintain your commitment, which is very important because a lot of people would just hide that and sweep it under the rug. But not only that, like, how are you analytical in solving the issue? So those are kind of like the crux of what we're looking for. If you want to go to the next one, Shamira. The second one is communicating effectively. So, you express your ideas and information in a clear and concise manner. You tailor your message to fit the interests and needs of the audience, and you deliver information in a manner that is interesting and compelling to the listener. So, off the bat, when I think of IT, if we're calling in, me, myself, I'm not good at IT. So if I'm calling into help desk, are you able to explain the issue? Are you able to support me in a way that I, who am a novice in technology, is easy to understand? How are you able to meet your audience and meet them where they are? And so a sample interview question would be, tell me about a time when you found it challenging to get your point across during a conversation with a person or a group. What approach did you take to make your message more clear? And then we have driving continuous improvement. And that is establishes methods to monitor and improve performance of system and processes, utilizes specialized techniques for continuous improvement. So that sounds very, very technical. And you're kind of like, what does that mean? But it's almost, if you break it down to bare bones, it's like, what do you do in your day to day to be more efficient, to make sure you're producing 100% in your work? If you know you're at 90, what would you do to make up that extra 10%? And so a sample interview question is, tell me about how you ensure a consistently high level of quality in your work. And I know everyone here has amazing work ethic. You wouldn't be here at this late session if you didn't. So that would be an easy one for everyone here. Thanks, Shabir. And then we have serving customers. So, build strong relationships with customers, stays aware of customer needs, concerns, and satisfactions, responds promptly to customer questions and requests, effectively manages customers' expectations. And then a sample interview question for that is, tell me about an experience you had with a very difficult customer. What was the solution? What did you do? And what was the final outcome? City of Mississauga, we are always customer based. My customer may not be front facing. I may not be facing the community. Well, I am with candidates, but in IT, you may not feel like, okay, that doesn't apply to me, but your customers are us, right? Your customers are the employees that come to you and need your support. And your customers will be those in the community. When you are looking at rolling out IT programs, you want to make sure things in the back of your mind, like, is this program accessible? Is this helpful to the community? What impact will it make? How will it affect those that don't have access to Wi-Fi and all those things of that nature? If it's a mobile device, is it screen reader friendly? So that's the kind of lens that you still want to have in your work. I don't think it's on here, the last one, but we recently brought in working with diverse populations as a core competency. And what that really means is, how are you able to work with, and when we say diversity, it could be race, but it can also be persons with disabilities, persons who are of different sex or gender, who are to us LGBTQ+. It really reflects on treating people with respect and fairness, no matter their background and identity or experiences, but also it's about listening to different perspectives. Can you respect that they have a different opinion? Like, if you voted for Trump, that's for you. I respect you regardless of your position. And then how do you come together to work with that person? Regardless of how they feel, there is always a common goal that we have to serve, and that's our community. And how can we come together with our different perspectives to make that goal happen? And it also means sometimes challenging unfair or biased behavior. You may work with your colleagues, you may be doing interviews with them on a hiring panel, and you may hear some remarks. Are you comfortable enough to address it, or know where to go in terms of resources to get support if you feel uncomfortable and those kind of natures, while also promoting EDI in the workforce? And it's really important. I'm so glad we brought this core competency, not just to leaders, but to everyone. Because if we are really going to push inclusion in the workforce, it has to be accountable for everybody. It's not just a manager's job. It's not just a front clerk's job. It's everyone's role to bring EDI to the forefront. You want to switch here?
Okay, so I thought I'll take over. So I want to show you a display of our structure for IT as it sits in the city. The IT division basically has five buckets or five portfolios that report right into the director. So the first one is architecture, projects, portfolio management, and IT security services. So some of the positions that you'll see there is IT solutions architect, working on large scale programs. Cybersecurity has been recently in the news and in Hamilton, Ontario, with a cybersecurity threat as well. So we are really taking that seriously to both protect our data as well as our employee data, as well as the Mississauga residents' data as well. And then portfolio and project management services. So they are specific groups that work on specific projects for each of the other divisions. So that's one area. The second one is enterprise structure services. So we have a team that works with our networks and telecom platform database. We have our own in-house data centers. And then most recently, we've brought in M365. The M365 project and platform is huge across the city. And I think it's very beneficial to bring that platform in because there's a lot of new ways of working within our Microsoft suite. AI capabilities, which is something that's hot in not only the city of Mississauga, but everywhere. The third bucket is client computing and support services. So client computing is essentially where we have many of our staff members come to as a first line of contact. That could be our help desk. Our IT technicians look at specific concerns and issues that employees might have. And then there's a tier system where they pass it on. And so some of the positions that exist there is IT technicians, help desk technician, and if needed, it ends up in a specialized group within the city. We have also a group called deployment and integration. So suppose a specific request comes in through IT, that team sort of prepares the software and allows and triggers the software to users so that they can download the software onto their system. And then lastly is AV and council support. So the city of Mississauga is built differently as that we are governed by our council and mayor. And so the audiovisual team there sort of helps with our general council that happens, council that happens every Wednesday morning that City of Mississauga residents and public and city employees can review. But not only that, the audiovisual technicians end up following the counselors around to different events and ensuring that they're set up for their events out in the community. Enterprise Business Solutions. So has everything to do with SAP. SAP is our main system that we do use across the board, and it has different modules and functions, our human capital management programs, payroll. We are newly implementing a process called Employee Central. It's a platform as well, and we're constantly sort of bringing in new systems and seeing what works and what doesn't work within the city and within SAP. And that group is in charge of that process. Digital workflow, BI, and visualization technologies. So we have a group, and recently, probably in the last couple of years, we've introduced ServiceNow as a way to connect everyone across the city. We have city surveyors and GIS specialists. So what the city surveyors and the GIS team do is they respond to requests from our councillors and mayors on boundaries and limits and to do with city property. And they do some mapping and the very cool stuff. For those that are familiar with GPUs, they are the one-stop shop for where they use those GPUs to be able to map things out. Asset management is another one part of there, but business intelligence. So business intelligence is something of a growing area within IT. It's where we just actually hired our first AI specialist to sort of not only being able to help all the divisions with AI, but not only that, but governance. Governance is huge in the city when it comes to how we're going to use the AI. And then lastly is business relationship management. So this group is the go-between between the clients and the different divisions, so enforcement and fire and recreation, and what type of solutions IT has for them. And so they would be that sort of client-facing group. And the last group there is the sourcing and contracting governance. So they look at all the procurement, all the contracts to do with IT, making sure that they're following our procurement process and handling. As you can imagine, there's a lot of various contracts and external contractors we use, and so that team looks after that. There is over 250 IT professionals that work here, and where opportunities come up is leave of absences, permanent opportunities come up, temporary opportunities. I always say, me personally, I joined the city on a 3-month contract, and that was about 8 years ago. And so, I always say to people, don't shy away from taking an opportunity, even if it's temporary. I get it. Everyone wants the permanent opportunity and all that, but the city is so large that within it, there might be opportunities in other areas or other divisions as well. And IT, although we have a main IT area here, other divisions have IT similar type of positions. So it's not all just that sits in this division. So I will share 3 current opportunities that we have. The first one is IT SAP HCM functional specialist. So this role will support more of Employee Central and actually implementing Employee Central into our city. If you have experience, love to connect afterwards. But essentially would be someone that's specialized in success factors, SAP success factors, and sort of helping us build that out within the city. So the next one is a temporary role, and it's a 12-month contract. And we're looking for someone that has both an SAP background and a strong finance background. And they'll be involved with a lot of integrating that finance and SAP project. And you might wonder why finance. Well, we deal with all of the property taxes and all the systems related to that, and so it would be sort of that person that knows both of those sides, the finance and the SAP side. But this is a temporary contract for now. And the last one is more of that person that is the go-between between the clients and the IT specialists. There's two opportunities that come up that are here and available. They're hybrid roles. The city has moved to a hybrid type of work arrangement where we do typically 3 days a week in office and 2 days remote. That's the other opportunity that we have at the moment.
Yeah, so sorry, I don't know what happened to my camera, but it won't let me go back on video. I apologize. But this is just like a general inquiries.
We can hear you very well.
Perfect, thank you. So if you had general inquiries regarding our processes or anything that you needed to get more clarity around, you can always go to jobs.mississauga.ca. We have an extensive FAQ page. It also highlights some of the great things that we're doing within the city, why it's great to work with us, and who we are. So once again, we do really push for EDI and recruitment, but then also we have things such as our employee testimonials and some highlights of what we offer in terms of like comprehensive training programs, performance development programs, resources for employees, competitive benefits, vacation time, all that great stuff. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can always go to our contact email, which is askhr@mississauga.ca.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate you allowing us to come in and take the time to talk about the city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Christina and Sheba. We are really, really happy to also hear from you. Honestly speaking, I never knew City of Mississauga have a lot like this, to be honest. And again, it's an opportunity for everyone, right? Just like Sheba said, he mentioned there is a comment he said opportunities. 1 second, I'm trying to bring it out because that resonates very well. Opportunities await you out there. And again, don't be shy. Don't shy away taking up opportunities, right? When you see one, grab it with your whole full hands, right? Yes. And we appreciate you for sharing today. So ladies, if you are here and there is any opportunity you see with the City of Mississauga, remember, this is the opportunity for you to key into it. Go in, create your account, which is very important. And another good thing I love about it is that you have opportunity to also have job alerts. So that any job that comes on board, you don't need to always be going into their website. You will always get the notification in your email. And again, you have everything it takes. You can streamline your search. If you are looking for a particular set of jobs, you will be able to see or go in and search for that particular job. So I appreciate you for sharing this with us. And at this point, we are going to be taking questions. We really want people to unmute themselves and talk. We want to hear from you because remember, just like Esther said, visibility we are talking about is not just to type, right? It's not just to post, but again, your voice, we need to hear you from you. Okay. So if you have any question, you want to like unmute yourself and talk, use the reaction button. But if you feel that where you are is so noisy, you can't be able to talk and you have a question, you can drop it in the chat. Of course, we will definitely read your question and the speakers are going to take up the question and clarify you. All right. So I see Angie's hand is up. So we are going to be starting with her. Angie, unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Hello.
Sorry, I can't show my video because of where I am, but I can actually talk. So I'll just do the talking instead.
No worries.
Thank you for the beautiful presentation. So my question is, Yeah, as a newcomer in Canada, I have a wealth of experience from where I'm coming from. I'm coming from Nigeria. Now, is so challenging to break into the Canadian market with your experience. I
Yes.
am working in Canada, but not as what I was doing
Yes,
from
in your field.
right. Now, my question is, okay, City of Mississauga, they have an advert, and then you go on their website, you apply for these roles. Are these roles really out there for the public, or they already have, people inside to, like internal applicant?
Right.
Because I see a lot of I've put in a whole lot of applications. I've even
Yeah.
lost count, but yet I don't even get a single reply to say, okay, you've gone past this application stage. The next stage is the interview. I don't get
Right.
that. So I am wondering if they just put it out there just to fulfill all righteousness. Okay, let's just put it out there. Let them just apply, just for compliance sake. However, they do have people internally they already have for those positions. How
Right.
does that work?
Yeah, I completely understand that. And even for myself, I've been in an experience where it's like, oh, why did they even make me fill out all these things, these questionnaires and everything, and like just to choose somebody that's already doing the role? So I think one of the great things that we do is provide transparency. So a lot of the times, if there is somebody internally filling in the shoes of the person or this role, we sometimes post that, like, somebody's already completing this role. So that's to be kept in mind. But when it comes to assessments, outside of that and internal and external people are applying, the great thing is we really like we don't use AI in our screening process. We have a few screening questionnaires that help us narrow things down, but outside of that, hiring managers and recruiters are looking at individual resumes. So when you're opening up the resume, we're really just looking at your skills and qualifications and how they closely align to that of the posting. Now, sometimes, and this is why I come out and I do these presentations and I do these Q&As, because sometimes as an internal staff, you are going to have that kind of um, leg up in the competition because you know about our internal processes, you know what the role looks like, you kind of have that greater insight. And so that's why I try to take this veil off and expose, like, this is how we recruit. When we're talking about competencies, we don't want you to just list out what you did. How did you do that role? Demonstrate. Tell me, what programs did you use to pull these reports? When you pulled those reports, what did you do with it? How did you analyze it? And what was the result? So I think the hardest part, and sometimes a lot of things of what we do is we just list off the things that we did. Oh, I did data analyst, or I did software reboost. But what does that mean? And the candidates often leave it to the hiring managers and recruiters to kind of guess and interpret what we think you're doing. And that's where a lot of people fall off at the application stage. So what I would say to make yourself, you know, uh, be a stronger candidate, and I don't know your resume, Angie, so I don't know if you're doing this already, but if you are, just continue to demonstrate how you've done the things that you've done, and you want to make sure that they actually align with what we're asking. Now, when it comes to skills and qualifications on a job posting, and as women, if we see something and we don't have 100%, we're like, oh, we're not going to apply. Do not do that. As Esther said, like, you're impactful, make yourself visible. Do not shy away. If you see you meet at least 60% and that 60% is strong and you're really, really, experienced in what they're asking for, in that 60%, apply, but put weight on the things that you've done and really showcase in your resume how you've demonstrated them. And that's a good way to kind of get past that screening. Because, like I said, it's not just AI looking for keywords, it's a hiring manager and a recruiter opening up their resume and looking to see, okay, how can what they've done here translate to what they need to do over here in the city of Mississauga?
I also just wanted to add to that, Christina. I always look at it as quality is better than quantity. So if you have the job description, job posting that says, specific things they're looking for, it would be more beneficial to tailor your resume towards what exactly they're looking for. So as soon as that hiring manager and that recruiter sees that resume and everything's kind of popping to them to say, okay, yes, that's what they have, and it's all relatable, you're more likely to be able to sort of move on to the next stage of recruitment. We also use our screening questions when you apply. So I always tell candidates to pay particular attention to those screening questions as well and see what exactly they're asking for. Some of the screening questions allow for you to put in free text and sort of describe maybe a software you used or some specific experience. So do take that opportunity to go and fill it in its entirety. I think the other thing about it is, although, yes, as I mentioned before, permanent opportunities is what we all want, but I wouldn't shy away from the temporary ones either.
Right.
Because if there is internal opportunities only advertised within internally, because it might be for a specific reason or a shorter period of time, then you would have access to that. So, but for the most part, most of our opportunities are posted internally and externally.
Nice one. Nice one. Thank you so much. Angie, you are good now, right?
Yes, thank you so much.
Awesome. So I have another question on the chat, Paula, but I'm not going to read the up part. But she's trying to find out if it's always for you to know an employee before you can be referred. Because the first question, the joining part of her question is also tied to what Angie already asked. But she is also trying to find out that someone mentioned that she needs to know an employee to give referral, that she would like you to talk about it.
So, go ahead, Shabir.
So we do have in the application and all the applications, it says disclose how you heard about the position, and it could be family, friends. It also, another question asks, state, if there's someone in the city that that's working here. And some of the reasons that we ask for that question is more of a conflict of interest, so that we're ensuring that, there's no reporting relationships within a position, but also just simply disclosing. But in terms of, I put less weight on the whole employee referral, more about the skill set the person has in coming into the role.
Yes, absolutely. And just to jump on referrals, one of the great things about having this partnership with WinTECH and Black Tech Academy is, and our other partners, what the great thing about this partnership is, if there is a role you apply to and, you think you closely aligned, you can send your resume to myself, in which I'll screen it and share it with the recruiter who'll screen it and then send it to the hiring manager. So, that kind of gets your resume in front of the hiring manager a bit faster and, increases your chances. So that's also another opportunity that you can use. But like Shabir said, when it comes to referrals and just answering that question, it's twofold. One, we just want to make sure there's no conflict of interest, and then B, just sourcing, like, how did you hear about us? We want to make sure that our sourcing efforts are meeting the needs of what we want.
Nice one. Thank you so much, Christina, for mentioning that. So ladies, if you feel like you have opportunity, you see within the city of Mississauga, and you have made all your resume suiting with the job they are looking for, please do well to share. All right. And that would be awesome. And we want to appreciate everyone for staying till this moment. And before we move forward, I would like us to do one single thing. I know some people are saying, I can't turn on my camera. I can't do this. I understand. All those things happen, right? So before we move forward, I would appreciate just few minutes, like few seconds, it's not going to be up to a minute. Please turn on your camera. We want to take a photo screenshot. We want to take a picture. Okay. And again, you can also follow the city of Mississauga, and as well as you can follow Esther, just like she shared her information, right? So please, can we turn on our camera? We want to take fine picture of everybody in this call. Okay. We want to see our faces, take picture, and as well, we move forward. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Look at awesome women that we have in this call. Can you imagine? And we are hiding behind the camera all this while. Esther, what do you have to say about this?
There is God, oh.
There is God, oh. I agree with you. There is God, though. So, okay, so just few minutes and I will, we are going to grab the screen and we proceed. Thank you so much. All right, all right. Okay, so everybody stay at your best pose. You can smile, you can do thumbs up, whichever one that works for you. Okay, all right. Are we ready? Okay, I hear from my screen. Yes, we are. Okay, we are going. IWD 2025 WinTECH Summit. Okay, 1 second. Let me capture the next screen. All right. Thank you so much. Honestly, you ladies are doing amazing. Just give me one more moment. I'm going to capture the next screen and we proceed. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone. Yep. Awesome. 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 All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Please, it's okay if you can leave the camera. I love seeing the faces. Yeah. All right. So we've come at that moment that we want to announce something very important, as well as why we also gather here. You know, this is celebrating Women's Month, which is International Women's Day. And again, based on the theme for this year, which says accelerate action. And again, WinTECH is always there to accelerate, to support, to empower women to be the best of the version of themselves, right? In anything you do, whether you are in tech, but mostly for those in tech, right? So because of that, we have some huge partnership, and BlackTech also is partnering with WinTECH, right? And also, like I said, in celebration of the International Women's Day, and they want to support the amazing work that we do within the community. So BlackTech have generously want to offer a full scholarship to 2 remarkable women from WinTECH community. So if you are in this call today and you are not part of the WinTECH community, I am sorry, this is going to be for women that are in WinTECH. So this might also be an opportunity for you to join the community, right? And how does this scholarship gonna go? Remember, I mentioned that it's gonna be a full scholarship, right? So what it means is that you will go into the BlackTech website, decide on whatever course you want to do as a woman. But the only thing is that you need to send us an email indicating why you need this scholarship, right? It could be maybe you are having financial challenges. It could be maybe you're a single mother. It could be maybe whatever it is, right? We want to know what is that compelling thing that you want us to know that made you feel like you need this. We want to hear from you. So send us an email, and one of the team members is going to share the email address, which is wintech@nipca.ca. All right? We want to hear from you. Remember, for you to partake in this scholarship, you have to be a member of WinTECH, an active member. So please. And I want to know, like I'm looking at the faces, I'm not sure we are excited about this. Are we excited about it? Are we? Okay, I'm seeing some thumbs up. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I love that. I love that. All right, thank you so much. So that is how we are going to do that. And from there, the team will go ahead and select the top 2 winners. And within the week, coming week, you're going to get an email in your email. So please, as you're sending, make it more compelling, remember, so that you will be selected. And I wish you all the best, okay? I wish you success. Remember, we are here to empower and uplift one another. So please, let's keep at it. So on that note, we have another thing that we want to mention, which is something that we always do. And last year's own the cohort for last year was really fantastic. We got good feedback, and I have my team member who is going to be sharing on that, which is on mentorship program that we have coming up. All right. So permit me to welcome Ifetayo while she go ahead and share this opportunity that we have. Thank you. Ife, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Hi, everybody.
Welcome.
Thank you to our invited guests. I've learned quite a number of things again today. Every session is always very impactful, so I'm grateful to be here. And I will say thank you for this opportunity. I will just quickly share some information about this very impactful program that we always run. So I'm going to go through quickly information about, just a minute. Oh, fantastic. About the Elevate Mentorship Program. This is powered by WinTECH, NIPCA, and Black Tech. This dynamic initiative was created with one key mission in sight, which is to empower immigrant tech professionals. Our goal is to connect each and every one that applies to seasoned mentors in their field, guiding them in navigating their professional journeys, help them to fast track their integration into the industries of their interest, and help them to expand their professional network so that they're open to new and greater opportunities. Looking back at the last cohort that we had, which was concluded in December 2024, last year, it was quite inspiring. We had 54 participants. So that is, we had 26 mentors and 28 mentees across 5 distinct career paths. They embarked on the transformative journey together, and over the course of the program, we witnessed remarkable transformation and incredible success stories. I'm going to share some of the stories. Several mentees secured job interviews after refining their resumes and preparing with their mentors. They gained confidence, they expanded their networking opportunities, and they were introduced to valuable platforms like Meetup. And the mentors went above and beyond. They connected their mentees with industry experts for mock interviews and career coaching. A lot of them gained insight from that. And I have to tell you, one of the mentees not only secured a job this February, but has since landed another one. She just got in contact with us. She's gotten another role, a higher role, within that short period of time. She put into action everything that she learned during the mentorship program, which is, I must tell you, very heartwarming. These stories are testaments of the power of mentorship. In the words of some of our participants, I'm going to read out some of the things that they said. I'm just going to highlight 3 people. Oluwafumilayo Familade, she was a mentee. She said, through this mentorship program, I deepened my understanding of how to build my technical and soft skills. My mentor's encouragement made me more confident. I discovered myself, and I hope one day I can mentor and impact others. I was so proud when I read this feedback because it goes beyond. You see somebody who is very eager, not just to make a headway in their own career, but to give back. It's for me, it is heartwarming. Another person, Omonwumi Ogidi, she was a mentor. She said, the program made me a better person. I had to research resources for my mentee. And in the process, I also learned new things and built new connections. So during the mentorship program, it's not only the mentees that will gain. The mentors, too, exposed to somebody who wants to learn, will develop so many other skills. The third person I want to mention here is Tolu Shodipo. He was a mentee. He said the most impactful aspect of this program was my mentor connecting me to a successful expert who is now guiding me on my career path. You see how very resounding these feedbacks are. I'm now going to quickly share a video with you all. One, the lady that got a job. I'm quickly going to share that with you.
My name is Smart Margaret Chinaza. I applied for the Elevate Mentorship earlier on and I got in. I was paired with mentor Wendy Mwaju and she took me through how to position myself for better opportunities, especially in the tech space. And under 6 weeks, I was able to position and elevate my professional development. And today, I've gotten a job as the business analyst with UBA Group. The Elevate Mentorship Program is a program for every career enthusiast that is working to elevate their professional development and also gain clarity on their path in career. And the Elevate Mentorship Program is for you. Thank you, Mentor Wendy Nwachi, and thank you to the Elevate Mentorship Program for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. So you see, that can also be you. Very heartwarming indeed. So the journey doesn't stop here. I'm very happy to announce to you all that the next cohort of the Elevate Mentorship Program will be kicking off in just a few weeks' time. All the official updates will be posted on WinTECH, NIPCA, and BlackTech social media platforms. So please be sure to stay connected. This is your opportunity to be part of something bigger. So there are two options. If you are a seasoned professional and you want to give back as a volunteer mentor, keep an eye out for the mentor application form. I will say, like John C. Maxwell wisely said, he said, one of the greatest values of mentors is the ability to see ahead what others cannot see and to help them navigate a course for their destination. That's a fantastic quote. Now, if you're seeking mentorship, if you're eager to learn and you want guidance from an industry professional, sign up as a mentee. I will still refer to the words of Isaac Newton that says, if I have seen further, it is because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. You can actually achieve a lot. You can gain a lot of grounds by connecting with the right people. In closing, I would like to say to our past and future mentors, your generosity, your guidance, your expertise shape careers and create ripple effects of success. To our mentees, your dedication to growth and learning is inspiring. I must tell you that Elevate Mentorship Program is more than just a mentorship program. It's a community that uplifts, that empowers, and transforms lives. We invite you to join this journey. Together, we can open doors, we can build futures, we can create opportunities that will last a lifetime. So thank you, everybody, and I look forward to seeing as many of you taking part in the next cohort. Please look out for the communication in all our platforms. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that wonderful one. Ifetayo, that was really impressive. Thank you so much. Yeah. So at this point, we are getting closer to ending the section and we want to appreciate everyone. But again, I would call on one of our team members again that is gonna be taking up on vote of thanks. You know, it's also a good thing to have everyone stay till this time. So please, let's welcome Adama. Adama will do the vote of thanks for us while we close for today.
Thank you very much, Wendy, and thank you everyone for being a part of this event. It has been amazing. We have learned so much from all the amazing speakers that have come. And so it is my pleasure to really extend a heartfelt thank you to everyone for attending today's International Women's Day event for WinTECH. we have had the privilege of hearing from, inspiring people. First of all, I'd like to thank Esther Ijere. It's an honor meeting you here on this platform, which is the beauty of things like this. Some people you just see on social media, but when you get closer to them, it's a different experience. And I want to say a big thank you for all the excellent insights that you shared during your presentation. We cannot say these things, we cannot overemphasize the need, to ensure that we are always visible. Some nuggets that I got, from your presentation was use visibility to build emotional connection. That was very powerful for me. Consistent messaging, stay authentic, define your brand. What is your why? Because that why will keep you going. That why will build the consistency and the passion that you need, to stay relevant in anything that you do. And lastly, of course, visibility is not vanity. Visibility is a necessity for impact. Thank you so much, Esther. It was an amazing presentation. And of course, to Christina and Shabir, we are honored to have the almighty city of Mississauga here.
You can say that again.
You don't get that often. That is 1 in a million. And we feel very special and honored to have you guys here and taking the time to share with us some inside secrets, if I must say, as to how, how we can maximize and get the best and contribute, build ourselves, and also contribute to the community by working with the city. So thank you so much. We do appreciate it. And I'm very sure that, 1 or 2 people will definitely reach out to you because WinTECH is a vault of talent, I must say.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes. So thank you so much. We do appreciate your presence here, and we definitely would stay close to you. And please, if you need us for anything, please by all means just call on WinTECH, and we will be happy. We will be happy to serve for sure. And to all the team members that have contributed to this event, thank you so much, Ifetayo, the queen of consistency. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, for that interesting piece about the mentorship program, which I encourage everyone to join and to take part. Thanks to Dami, thanks to Wendy. I call her Wendy Mama. That's my nickname, but she's just an amazing human being, I must say, for bringing this community together. We say thank you so much. And to everybody, we wouldn't have done this without you. This event would not have been complete without all the participants and all the attendees that attended. I mean, we could have as well been presenting to ourselves, but the people that have attended have made it all worthwhile. You have definitely made it complete, and for that we say a big thank you. And so I'm very sure that everyone today is leaving with something. Everyone today is not living the same way they came into the call. They are definitely living different. They are living better. They are living bigger. They are living more confident, and they are living with, more clarity as to how to take the next step. So thank you very much to everyone. And on that note, I would say that's all from me now.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adam. And thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. We meet next time on our next section. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. And bye, everyone.
Good one. Bye.
Bye.
She dreams. She dares. She does. She's a big thinker with a drive for excellence. She wants it. She goes for it. She's not ready to negotiate her future. She is prepared to own her spot, to live her dreams today, to liberate herself from stereotypes and imposter syndrome. She is the woman who has identified her path, purpose, vision, and is willing to make her mark wherever she turns. She is me. She is you. She's all of us who are willing to tear down barriers and become triumphant at home and work. Together, we will confront our wars, win our battles, and soar. This is our enclave, WinTECH, creating a safe space for women to network, learn, support one another, access opportunities, thrive, and succeed.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Wendy.
Yeah.